In a small village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a boy unlike any other. From the day he was born, not a single word had ever passed his lips. The villagers whispered among themselves, their eyes filled with pity and disdain. To them, he was a curse, a burden that weighed heavily on their community. They believed he was destined for nothing, a life wasted in silence. But beneath the boy's quiet exterior lay a secret, one that set him apart in ways no one could imagine. While others heard only the mundane sounds of daily life, he could hear what no one else could. The gentle whispers of the wind as it danced through the trees, the mournful cry of the ancient oaks as they swayed in the breeze, and even the steady, rhythmic heartbeat of the earth itself. These were the melodies that filled his world, a symphony of nature that only he could comprehend. Day after day, the boy wandered the outskirts of the village, his eyes wide with wonder as he listened to the secrets of the natural world. The villagers shook their heads in dismay, convinced that his solitary wanderings were further proof of his uselessness. They couldn't see the wisdom he was gathering, the deep connection he was forging with the world around him. As the seasons changed and years passed, the boy grew into a young man, still wrapped in his cocoon of silence. The villagers had long since given up on him, relegating him to the fringes of their society. Little did they know that their salvation would come from the very person they had cast aside. One fateful night, as the village slumbered peacefully, a great storm began to brew on the horizon. Dark clouds rolled in, bringing with them howling winds and torrential rain. Lightning crackled across the sky, illuminating the terrified faces of the villagers as they emerged from their homes. They knew, with a sinking certainty, that this storm had the power to destroy everything they held dear. As panic spread through the village, the silent young man stepped forward. His face was calm, his movements deliberate. In his hand, he held a simple stick, worn smooth by years of use. The villagers watched in confusion as he began to draw strange lines on the muddy ground. Some scoffed, others pleaded with him to stop wasting time and seek shelter. But he continued, his hand moving with purpose and precision. The storm raged on, drawing ever closer to the village. Trees bent and groaned under the force of the wind, and the air was thick with the scent of rain and fear. Just as all hope seemed lost, something extraordinary happened. The wind began to shift, almost imperceptibly at first, then with growing strength. The dark clouds, once bearing down on the village with terrifying intent, began to move away. The villagers stood in awe as the storm vanished into the distance, leaving their homes and fields untouched. They turned to the young man, who stood silently beside his mysterious drawings, his eyes reflecting the last flashes of lightning on the horizon. In that moment, they saw him truly for the first time. From that day forward, everything changed. The young man still never spoke a word, but the villagers no longer saw his silence as a curse. Instead, they recognized the profound wisdom and power that lay within his quiet demeanor. They sought him out, bringing him their troubles and concerns, knowing that his understanding of the natural world far surpassed their own. Children would gather around him, watching in fascination as he drew intricate patterns in the dirt, somehow knowing that these simple lines held great meaning. Farmers consulted him before planting their crops, and hunters sought his guidance before venturing into the forest. His silence, once a source of ridicule, became a wellspring of respect and admiration. As the years passed, the legend of the silent savior spread far beyond the borders of the village. People would travel great distances, hoping to catch a glimpse of the man who could command the very forces of nature. But to those who knew him best, he remained simply the quiet boy who had always been among them, listening to the whispers of the world. And so, in a village that had once cast him aside, the silent young man found his place. He never spoke a word, never explained the source of his power or the meaning behind his mysterious drawings. But everyone listened to his silence, for they knew that within it lay a wisdom and power beyond words, a connection to the natural world that would forever protect and guide them.